welcome to this council, which we should have had last Thursday, but the snow is more or less going now, so we're right. Before we start, I want to say a very big thank you to all the staff, the employees, and also the contract people who have done such a wonderful job with the snow. The headmistress of King Henry VIII was absolutely over the moon about it, because she said where she worked before in Rondacon and Taff, I think the other place was Torvine, they never had their scores cleared at all like you have done. So it's a great thank you. And so many people have said to me what a wonderful job's been done, and I think that we should pat them all on the back and be very proud that we've got employees like that. Thank you. Would you like to...
May I also add to that the work of so many volunteers over the past few days who have come out and helped in so many ways, people who have been particularly housebound, the elderly, the frail. And I think the volunteers in Monmouthshire have done an absolutely fantastic job, and the help should be extended to them as well. The thanks, rather.
Brian?
Yes, Madam Chair. Just to say, really, we will make sure that your message gets through to the staff on the ground.
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning to you, Chairman, not afternoon, just remembered that one. And good morning to senior officers and Chief Exec. On your point, Chairman, I'd just like to take that opportunity also to pass on and convey our gratitude and our thanks, as Bob said, to all our volunteers. But there's one thing which stands out for me is, as a nation, we actually pull all the stops out when things aren't going good. And I think for Monmouthshire as well, we were prepared to a point. Nobody knows what's going to come, and everybody got home safe as well. We won't keep everybody happy, but I think 99.9% of people were happy, and thank you for everyone for what they did in the last few days. Tremendous. Well done. Thank you.
Councillor Bertruni first.
Yeah, I'd like to add my thanks to all staff who've worked in adverse conditions, all the volunteers. Around my area, the local farmer got his tractor out and started scraping all the streets around, taking all the snow around, all around the streets. He didn't have to do that. And it's testament to those people coming to help everyone. And I know the leader went out and to community meals as well. And I know Will McLean, the officer, went out from what I saw on social media. So everyone pulled in, and I really congratulate everyone on this good effort.
Just to say thank you to all the officers for their brilliant efforts over the end of last week and the weekend. We say about volunteers, but it's about the residents forming part of communities when they had roads that needed clearing, that were off the main drags, and they all got together to make the work a lot easier so people could get out to work. Thank you. It was really nice to see the immediate responses. Thank you very much.
We'll now have apologies for absence, please. Councillor Strong.
Thank you, Chairman. Apologies from Lisa Dimmock, Ruth Edwards and Peter Clark.
Councillor Howarth.
I have Councillor Blake Bruce running slightly late, so hopefully she'll be with us and join us quite soon. Thank you.
Councillor Bertruni and then
Councillor A. Watts.
Councillor Guppy.
Came to Councillor Jez Becker, who give his apologies, but he may turn up because he's has got priorities that need sorting out this morning, so he may come late, and apologise if he does. Thank you.
There's no public open forum, I don't believe. And it says my announcements, I've more or less done that beforehand. We have a petition. It was to have been from Lisa, but Sarah Jones is going to produce it. Where's Sarah? Oh, there she is. Sorry, Sarah.
Thanks, Madam Chairman. And I'll read this out as though Lisa's presenting this. So Lisa would like to present this very important petition. 684 residents of the Sevenside area have signed a petition urging Monmouthshire County Council to provide a badly needed footpath between Undy and Roggett to allow a safe commute for the public along this section of the B4245. Currently there's an uneven grass verge and I often see members of the public walking along this verge, which is unequivocally unsafe and certainly not fit for pedestrians' use in its current state. Those that wish to walk or cycle to Severn Tunnel Junction should be able to do so safely. We want to encourage people to be as healthy and active as possible, but sadly residents have no choice but to catch public transport or drive a car. A footpath would enrich the lives of Sevenside residents.
As and when? Right. To confirm the minutes of the meeting held on the 18th of January 2018, this is for accuracy only. Anybody?
Moved.
Move. All in favour? Thank you. To confirm the minutes of the minutes held of the extraordinary meeting held on the 15th of February.
Move.
Councillor Fox.
Just moving it, Madam Chairman.
Righto. Thank you. Everybody in favour? Thank you. Item 7, to note the County Council action list. Have you all read it and looked at it? Councillor Eason.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can we have some feedback on some of the actions, and particularly the point about period poverty? We met as a council, we made a decision to go forward, but we've had committees and the chair. Yet on the news this morning, Rhondda Cynon Taf are going to jump the gun and beat us to doing it as a council. I think as a council we should act on this straight away, not have a committee to decide this. We've got 4 secondary schools in this county, far less than Rhondda Cynon Taf, but they jumped the gun and they will most probably provide it, and I think we should have done it months ago.
Who's going to...
Yeah, I don't know if you want to respond on that, but we're meeting again on Monday next week. We've already engaged with the Engage the Change group, so we're going to be reporting back some really good feedback from that group of people. And there's some interesting information already coming forward, but I'm keen to ensure that we assess and monitor the situation first, and then we make a decision and look at the options. So we're working on evidence that comes forward that's accurate and looked at, and examined in a lot of detail. So that's happening next week.
Does that answer your question?
No, not really, Chair. I think we should be more proactive as a council and make some decisions. I don't think we should have a committee to talk about a simple problem for 4 secondary schools, and I urge the committee through Councillor Jones to get things moving, because I feel that we were one step in front of most of the other councils in Wales, and I think we're being overtaken now, and I think it's sad that we should have flown the flag and done it a long time ago.
Chairman, I've got to agree with the Cabinet member there that actually I think sometimes that when we do things and jump the gun and don't do things correctly, we actually could rebound on us. So let's look at others, mistakes which they make, which there will be some, and there's a budgetary issue here as well. The finance side of it, we just don't do that inside 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So yeah, let's progress it. Perhaps step it up a little bit now and have them conversations with the others. Thank you.
Councillor Watkins.
Thank you, Chair. We actually have a cross-party group working on this actual topic. It's actually really going to look across all of our secondary schools. We're planning on interviewing using a questionnaire to try and contact as many girls as possible to find out what the real issues are that face them. As Sarah has mentioned, I met with Engage to Change, our youth council, and they've given really important feedback for us already. And now we are going to take this to the next step. The girls are really on board, who I've already talked to. The schools, the head teachers have already been contacted and have issued their support as well. We are going to move forwards with this. This is not a stuck policy, but we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it right for the girls of Monmouthshire. And hopefully then that will have a long-lasting effect.
Thank you. Right. Is that all on the... You accept the County Council action list and we'll progress with it. Cool. We now have reports from the Chief Officer Resources. Councillor Murphy.
Yes, thank you, Chair. And this is the annual report regards the Treasury Management policy. And you'll see clearly from the report that the purpose is to set a policy and strategies for the 18-19 financial year, cover the Treasury and prudential borrowing activities which Council employees must then adhere to. This is to ensure that an appropriate level of care is taken of the authority's funds and that a prudent budget is set to cover these activities. So the recommendation is that the proposed Treasury Management Policy Statement for 18-19, which is all set out in Appendix 1, and the proposed Treasury Management Strategy in Appendix 2, and the investment and borrowing strategies, minimum revenue position and everything associated with it in Annex C, be approved together with the Treasury limits as required by Section 3 of the Local Government Act, and also to approve the use of the prudential indicators supplied. Audit Committee has had a detailed presentation by Arlene Close, the team who monitor all of this for us, and the Audit Committee will continue to note what's going on and receive regular reports. The Code requires that the Council approve annually a Treasury Management Policy Statement and the Management Strategy Statement and the Investment Strategy Statement. So it will then receive a semi-annual report and an annual report after it's closed. So, Chair, this is a responsibility of the full Council. It's a statutory responsibility that we have. There's an awful lot in this report, so at this stage I'll invite any questions, and I'm sure Peter Davis will be quite happy to respond to anything.
Councillor Bertuni. Oh, you got your name down, sir. Councillor Howarth.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to ask a question on 6.2, bullet point 6.2 there. There are, however, some key future financial risks on medium-term Treasury budget concerning, and this is the capital. And I know we're going to go into capital in the next agenda item, Chairman, but I'd just like to ask Phil, the information that's been supplied to us today for the agenda, is this actually correct? Because for me, the information we have is confidential and we'll have to go into committee. This was mentioned in Adult Select also, which is not minuted anywhere in any of these documents. Can I ask Phil exactly where we are with this? Because with the 21st Century Schools programme and as a council to take the whole authority forward, that gives me real concern, that statement.
Yes, Chair. I really can't understand why Councillor Howarth is asking this question. We always say that there is a significant risk with regards to capital receipts. We have to, because all sorts of external factors can determine when external receipts come in. That's why we have internal borrowing, that's why we go to external borrowing. We do everything we can to make sure that the receipts come in on time or when we anticipate that they're going to come in, and that's all set out in the capital reports that come through. So yes, we're always looking at this, but it's right, in my opinion, to flag up the significant risk, because we can't guarantee that it will come in when you anticipate that it's going to.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak on this? Right. Oh, Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question, Phil. In I think it's Appendix 2 on page 10, the table at the top, it shows new external borrowing requirement for the end of March last year is 0, and 2021, 72 million, thereabouts. Can you just give me a quick idea of what that's going to be entailing? What sort of things are we looking to spend out of a capital programme for that sort of money? Because the way it's jumped, it just appears to me that you're spending more than the Labour Chancellor.
Murphy.
Borrowing, sorry.
Councillor Murphy.
I'll let Peter and